If you want to solve math education in America, I think you can do it in 1 year. I'm going to tell you my strategy for solving math education in 1 year. What is the yardstick of success? Let me address that quickly. It's one thing to be good at math. It's another thing to have a good attitude towards mathematics, right? So I want students to be very good at math, okay? I want them to do linear algebra and differential equations while they're still in high school. Like I want them to get 30 college credits of math while they're still in high school, right? So I'm not lowering the bar at all. But I don't want students just to do a lot of mathematics. I want them to enjoy it. I want them to love mathematics. And one of the books that I think will help with that is Mathematics for Human Flourishing by Dr. Francis Su. So I want to encourage you to read this to begin to rethink what you think about math and mathematical thinking. Later in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the greatest mathematicians ever, which is another strategy. We need to be teaching them about the greatest mathematicians and why they did the work that they did. But let's go ahead and dive in. So what is the goal with the math excellence? So my name is Amos Tarfa, Amos the math guy, and I write and teach mathematics. I'm a medical physicist by training. I have a bachelor's in chemistry, and then I teach, I love teaching math, history, science, history. And my goal is to make calculus accessible to everybody. I want to show people the beauty in mathematics. So my goal for everybody is not just to get to calculus. I want them to get to calculus in 10th grade. Like that should be normalized, right? We can compete with Singapore. We have what it takes. We just have to change our mindset. Now, why do I bring up Singapore in this discussion? Because they've been number one in the elementary school math space now for like 15 years. The advantage we have with learning from Singapore is that Singapore is the only English-speaking country in the top 6 or 7 countries that are ranked in mathematics, right? So we can look at their textbooks, right? I have their textbooks here. I look at Singapore's material and I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing. Some of it is similar to what I grew up with in Nigeria. And I'm saying, let's bring all of that to America and let's give that excellence in mathematics to anybody that wants to learn. See, there's this idea that school funding is the only thing that could limit, or one of the main things that can limit someone's mathematical ability. That's not necessarily true in this age of excess information and technology. We need to raise up coaches and teachers and people that can guide children along the way to calculus. So how do we solve American math education in 1 year? The first thing is we need to define our goal and where we headed. And I will just be upfront. We need to stop taking summers off from math. We should not be taking the whole summer off. There should be a little bit of mathematics that is done all year. If you don't want to lose ground and have to rebuild, there is no reason to be doing that. There are some schools that have 50% of kids doing remedial math. That's just a waste of time. Like, we need people to be learning math well, going into college with an understanding of calculus and beyond. So the beginning of getting a solid foundation in math, of course, is early math education. But the way that we solve math in 1 year is that this summer, 2025, we're not taking it off. Like, that's what America needs to decide, is that we're not taking summer 2025 off. We're doing an assessment of everybody's math level, and then we're going to find where you have gaps, and we're going to fill in those gaps, and we're going to keep moving you up based on your mastery, not on your grade level, but on your mastery. So there needs to be a change in attitude where people begin to care about excellence in mathematics. Then we need to do an assessment of everybody's core skills, which we have on our website for free. Reach out to amosthemathguy@gmail.com, amosthemathguy@gmail.com, or you could go on my website, amosthemathguy.com. You fill in that form and I'll send you the information. You can take a free assessment and you can see where your skills are. I think everybody's skills falls into 3 categories before calculus. Everything elementary math in the first workbook I put together, everything elementary math and pre-algebra, this is the first set of skills everybody needs to check. Your addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Your fractions, decimals, percents, ratios, and proportions. How good are you with the fundamental arithmetic operations with all the different classification of real numbers? So are you very good with multiplying negative numbers? Are you very good with working with fractions and adding them and subtracting them? That's what I cover in my first course, which is tied in with that assessment. The online materials are all there. They're free. You can access those online materials. The workbooks you can get from Amazon and use as a guide from counting to calculus. So the first set of skills is everybody needs to be solid with their pre-algebra skills. The second is algebra 1 and 2 combined. Are you very good with algebra? Algebra 1 and 2. Can you do everything related to polynomials and equations and graphing and inequalities and factoring polynomials and radicals and so on? We need to make sure your algebra is on point. And then number 3, geometry and trigonometry. By the way, you notice that these pictures are following a theme, right? You sketch the rocket, you put it in place, and then you blast off, right? These are the 3 workbooks that take you from counting into the realm of the calculus program we have. So we need everybody to have a solid base in those 3 categories. pre-algebra, algebra 1 and 2 combined, and geometry and trigonometry. So how do we solve the American math problem in 1 year? We need to clarify our goal. For me, my goal is I want everybody in calculus as soon as possible without any gaps. Like there's no reason to be taking any breaks from doing mathematics. Make it, if we change the attitude, if we show you the reason why you're doing it, hopefully you give it a chance. And in the summer, I'm just talking about like 20 to 30 minutes a day, right? That's max. About 3 hours a week, max, is kind of the realm I'm thinking about. I'm not saying we take away people's summers, the whole summer, but just dedicate some time to review concepts, strengthen your foundation, and then work on your algebra 1 and 2 skills. Once you have a solid pre-algebra and algebra 1 and 2 sort of base, you can go far. Like because calculus has a lot of algebra just built in. Like calculus there's a lot of algebra that is assumed you know very well. So, how do we solve American math education in a year? Solid goal. Everybody get to calculus as soon as possible. Mastery-based learning. Take a free assessment. See where your skills are. I could tell you exactly what skills you're struggling with so that you could work on figuring out what to do next. Because once you fix some of those skills, like prime factorization and prime numbers, you're going to go far. Let's see. Early math education is very important. Singapore Math has given us a great tool. There's a guy who has written a book called Rethinking Math Learning, and he shows how you can teach your kids 1 year of math in 3 months. I mean, this guy is proving the point we've been trying to say. He's the CEO of Elephant Math. And then the 3 R's. Homeschoolers are very familiar with the 3 R's, right? Reading, writing, arithmetic. Excellent resource to help families get that solid foundation. A lot of elementary school mathematics is really about building your mind. There's a mind for numbers, be a human calculator, empire of the sum. Empire of the sum is about the rise and reign of the pocket calculator. But imagine if you can get a solid base in arithmetic and understanding and number sense. That's what the first base needs to be about. Middle school is a waste of time. Let me just say this quickly. When it comes to mathematics, middle school is a waste of time. What I mean by that is once you have a solid base in elementary school mathematics, all the way to fractions, decimals, percents, ratios, and proportions, you should be doing algebra. Like there's nothing in between. Everything in between there, sometimes it's just a lot of repetition, and it burns some people out. And some of those kids don't really care. So then you're burning people out who don't care, right? So that's why middle school with math is a waste of time. If you think of math in that regard, math is about getting a solid foundation and then moving on into algebra 1 and algebra 2 with the solid foundation you have. But if you don't have a solid foundation, then yes, middle school makes sense there in terms of learning skills in fractions, decimals, and percents and making sure you're solid with those. But if you're solid with those in 5th grade, you need to be doing algebra in 6th grade. There's nothing that should stop you if your pre-algebra is intact, if you've covered all the topics there, and if you have a passion and a desire to learn mathematics at a high level. We shouldn't be wasting your time. And unfortunately, I think that's happening too often. For high school, once you get into algebra and beyond, you should be getting college credit. Like, what are you waiting for, right? You should be getting college credit for algebra 2, which is college algebra, for pre-calculus and trigonometry, for calculus, for statistics, for discrete mathematics. You should be getting college credit. So everybody should graduate high school with at least about 15 credits, college credits in math, if they're serious and they don't take summers off. How is this possible? You have 3 credits of college algebra, you have 3 credits of pre-calc, which is 6, you have 3 of calc 1, 9, 3 of statistics 12, 3 of discrete math 15, 3 of calculus 2, 18. See how we're counting those college credits? Like everybody who is dedicated and applies themselves to this and wants to go into STEM should be enjoying all these credits they can get. And I can help you with that through a university I'm connected with. And so not only can we solve the math education problem in America, we could get you, okay, I'll tell you the number, over 27 credits in math and computer science before you graduate high school, just in math and science, right? This is very doable. It just takes having a vision, and that's the era of education we're in. So I'm going to make a whole video about modern education and how it's expired, and you can find it on my other channel, LifeSTEM Academy, on YouTube. But here I just wanted to say that we can solve math education in America in 1 year. If we change our mindset, if we're committed this summer, and we really commit to raising the next generation of top mathematicians, we can do it. So who are some of these top mathematicians? We got Leonard Euler, we got Carl Friedrich Gauss, we have Isaac Newton, Srinivasa Ramanujan, David Hilbert. I mean, these are some of the top mathematicians: Terence Tao, David Hilbert. Students should know about the greatest mathematicians so that they can aspire to be one of the greatest mathematicians themselves. This is how we not only solve math education in a year, but we raise the next generation of top mathematicians. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe for more. Have a blessed day.